your source. It's all just speculation. Now, what's the third attempt? The next two attempts are going to be by Christian Crusaders. So we move from the Fatimids to the Crusaders, and now it's the year 557 after the Hijrah. And this is an amazing story, and probably the best documented of all the stories. The best because it happened later on. It's documented. And the story starts in Damascus, Syria. In the room of Nuruddin az-Zingi in the middle of the night, he wakes up, having had a dream of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam pointed to two yellow-haired people and said, "Save me from these two." So Nuruddin az-Zingi didn't know what this dream meant, went to sleep again. He didn't know what that dream meant, because how would he save the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam after his passing? So he slept. Did you want this bookmark here, by the way? Okay. He slept again, and he saw the dream yet a second time. The same exact dream. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Save me from these two people." He slept again perplexed. He saw the dream a third time. This time he said, he doesn't know what this is, but he can't sleep anymore. He goes and he makes wudu, and he goes down to the musalla, the masjid of the palace. And it's before Fajr. It's a way before Fajr. Lo and behold, who does he see there at the masjid? His advisor. So think about this. Nuruddin wakes up on a random night to go make tahajjud in the mosque. And his advisor's already there, praying tahajjud. That's why they were who they were. And Habib Omar bin Hamid, who lives in the Emirates, he used to always say, whenever the Muslims succeeded, their kings were Abdal and Aqtab and Awliya. And he pointed out Nuruddin az-Zingi and Salahuddin al-Ayyubi. He said they were not just righteous kings, they were Awliyaullah and Abdal, who prayed tahajjud regularly. So Nuruddin Zingi goes down to the mosque of the palace and finds an advisor still there, or already there. And he tells his advisor of the dream, and his advisor says, "Why are you here? Move, go." So they pray Fajr, and Nuruddin announces to his group, "Let's go, and we're going down to Medina. Gather and now pack all the money, gifts, everything. We go to Medina, we bring gifts." Immediately goes to Medina, goes straight to the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ, gives a speech to the people, and says, "I want everybody, all men of Medina, to come and claim a gift from me." That's how he's going to see these two men. Every single man in Medina must come and take a gift from me. So people come, and no blonde people show up. He then starts asking around, has anyone seen two blonde people? Well, I say, yeah, there are two blonde guys. They say that they're from Morocco, coming to make Hajj, right? Coming down from Morocco over to go make Hajj. And he says, bring them. So they say, come and get your gift from Nuruddin. They said, no, we're not poor. We don't need a gift. He said, no, come anyway. They come. He looks at them. He talks to them. It's not a Moroccan accent. Okay. He said, tell me the truth of why you're here. He said, no, just making Hajj. He said, okay. He follows them back and he has their home investigated. He goes himself into the home, and then they put their arms up and they said, no, you got us. We are Christians. We have been sent by the king of Jerusalem to come dig up the grave of the Prophet ﷺ. And they investigate the house, and they find a huge hole that goes down into a tunnel that they formed, right? And they were actually getting there, right? So they had dug it down, and take a ladder, you go down, and you keep digging and digging and digging and digging. And so, of course, he has them executed, and he then digs a circle. He orders for a whole circle to be dug around the Prophet ﷺ, in which they would put, melt down some metal and put it there so that it would form a metal wall, molten lead, and nobody would be able to dig. So that was the third attempt on the city of Medina and the grave of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Remember, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has a special hadith about Medina. من أحدث في المدينة حدثا أو آوى محدثا فعليه لعنة الله والملائكة والناس أجمعين. Whosoever creates in Medina a fitna or supports one of these people of fitna, upon him is the curse of Allah and the angels and all the people. Okay. Next, the fourth attempt is also the Crusaders. Ibn Jubayr says it's the year 578 after the Hijrah. He said, I arrived in Alexandria on the 29th of Dhul Hijjah, 578 after the Hijrah, during my excursion tour of Egypt. We left Alexandria on the 8th. Right? And there we saw a huge crowd of people coming out of their homes, okay, to see Roman prisoners, Christian prisoners. And these prisoners were bought on animals facing the back of the animal. That's how you humiliate somebody. You know somebody's being humiliated in the old world, he's put to the back of the animal. Okay? People were coming out, playing bugles, banging on sticks and things, just making a big, hoopla about this. Okay? We inquired about them, and we were given a detailed picture of their crimes. All right, so what were the crimes of these people? The Christians of Syria had began to do all sorts of mischief, and they wanted to disrupt the Hajj, and they wanted to disrupt the city of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they succeeded on the first one by burning down the warehouse of food in Jeddah, that the pilgrims would come, collect their zad. Zad means sustenance, and keep going. They come from Jeddah, from the west, or from the north even, okay, northwest, collect their sustenance there, rest at Jeddah, and come down. They burn that down, okay, the storage of food, okay, and they killed and they fought, and there was all sorts of riots and all sorts of fighting. And then they headed towards Medina, okay, and when they were about 1 day away from Medina, okay, the famous Hajib al-Lu'lu' came with a few Moroccan youths who were experts, okay, in sea warfare and in fighting. And they were like their own version of their own Texas Rangers. Like Texas Rangers, their own justice team, basically. And they weren't part of any army. They were just on their own. They would protect the Muslims against the Christians. Okay. And they fought with these Christians, and they took some as prisoners. Okay. And the prisoners, when they were brought forth, they had admitted that their goal was to remove the body of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam from the sacred chamber. Okay. They admitted that after being caught. And so this team of Moroccans, Hajib al-Lu'lu', his name was. And this is almost like the Texas, in America we have, they used to have the Texas Rangers, who were basically semi-official, and they could go around and make sure that gangsters were kept at bay. All right. And that's what this Moroccan group was. They would travel around, see who the Crusaders are bothering, and they would fight them. So Moroccans for the win.